O'Donnell?
Favorable.
In the May election for mayor, any registered voter may vote for any candidate, regardless of party. If the May election for mayor were held today and the candidates were Jimmy Davis and Jason O'Donnell, for whom would you vote?
Jason O'Donnell.
How would you rate the job Jimmy Davis is doing as mayor? Would you say he's doing an excellent job, a good job, only fair, or a poor job?
A poor job.
As you may know, the city of Bayonne recently settled a federal lawsuit for $400,000 that was brought by a group seeking to build a mosque in the city. Please tell me which statement you agree with more. Some people say that the city should have fought the federal lawsuit in court. People in the neighborhood made it clear that they did not want a mosque there, and the city should have stood up for them. Or some people say that the city did the right thing by settling a federal lawsuit it was likely to lose. Other cities in New Jersey that fought similar suits lost, and taxpayers were forced to pay as much as $10 million in damages. Which one do you agree with more?
The second option.
All right. Now I'm going to read you some brief profiles of the candidates for mayor of Bayonne, and then I'd like to get your opinion of them.
Sure.
Democrat Jason O'Donnell is a former Bayonne firefighter, New Jersey State Assemblyman, and an administrator in Bayonne city government. O'Donnell wants to return character to Bayonne. O'Donnell will focus on properly funding Bayonne schools, making our neighborhoods safe, and hiring Bayonne residents for Bayonne jobs so that the city is a better place to live and raise a family. Democrat Jimmy Davis is the current mayor who served on Bayonne Police Department. Davis has improved our parks, 6 miles of streets, and returned openness and transparency to city government. Davis has brought over $2.5 billion in new development and business activity to the city. This will generate over $10 million in new revenue annually for Bayonne, which will help keep property taxes under control. Sometimes people change their minds in surveys like these, and sometimes they don't. If the May election for mayor were held today and the candidates were Jimmy Davis and Jason O'Donnell, for whom would you vote?
Jason O'Donnell.
All right. Now I'm going to read you some statements from supporters of Jimmy Davis, and I'd like to know whether each one is a convincing reason for him to vote. Convincing to vote for him. I'm sorry. Here's the first statement. Since Mayor Jimmy Davis took office, property values are up by an average of 25% for Bayonne homeowners. That is because Davis is making sure vacant properties are being redeveloped with more housing and better shopping opportunities. Is this a convincing reason to vote for Jimmy Davis, or isn't it?
No.
Okay. Under Mayor Jimmy Davis's leadership, developers and businesses investing billions of dollars in Bayonne's future. The new development alone will generate $10 million annually in tax revenue for the city, which means Bayonne city government can keep local property taxes under control. Is this a convincing reason to vote for Jimmy Davis?
No.
Okay. Mayor Jimmy Davis cleared away the obstacles holding up the redevelopment of the former military ocean terminal known as Montby. Now, Bayonne is finally taking advantage of the full potential of Moppy with development underway for a Costco and residential housing, as well as plans for a Starbucks and commuter ferry. Is this a convincing reason to vote for Jimmy Davis?
No.
Okay. Under Mayor Jimmy Davis, almost 200 new businesses have started in Bayonne, and he has brought $2.5 billion in new development and business activity to the city. This positive momentum means more jobs and higher property values for Bayonne homeowners. Is this a convincing reason to vote for Jimmy Davis?
No.
Mayor Jimmy Davis has invested millions of dollars to improve Bayonne's parks and recreational facilities, including upgrades to a Hearn Veteran Memorial Stadium and Corpy Ice Rink, new battlefields, and the city's first playground built especially for children with special needs. Is this a convincing reason to vote for Jimmy Davis?
No.
Under Mayor Jimmy Davis's leadership, the empty buildings and lots along Broadway are being revitalized with new housing, restaurants, shopping, and the new 80,000 square foot Barnabas Medical Center. Is this a convincing reason to vote for Jimmy Davis?
No.
Now that you have heard these statements, if the May election for mayor were held today and the candidates were Jason O'Donnell and Jimmy Davis, for whom would you vote?
Jason O'Donnell.
Now I'm going to read you statements some people are making about Bayonne. Please tell me which one you agree with more. Supporters of Mayor Jimmy Davis say that he has the right approach to development. Vacant lots are being redeveloped with new businesses and housing. That is increasing property values for everyone. It also means millions of new tax revenue for the city, which helps keep taxes under control regular homeowners. Opponents of Mayor Jimmy Davis say that he has turned the city over to out-of-town real estate developers who contribute to his campaign. Davis gives these developers millions of dollars in tax abatements and breaks, while property taxes for regular homeowners in Bayonne have increased. Which statement would you like?
The second one, please.
Thank you. Now I'm going to read you a statement by opponents of Jimmy Davis. Mayor Davis has publicly admitted to sending lewd text messages to a city employee, including references to body parts and requests for oral sex. When the employee sued the city, Davis offered her a $150,000 taxpayer-funded settlement, but only in exchange for a sexual relationship. Now I'd like to read you a response to that statement from supporters of Jimmy Davis. Both of the women in question and the mayor confirm that they are childhood friends, and the relationship was never physical, just over text. The texting began before Davis became mayor and ended right after he took office. It should not cost him the office of mayor. The women in question has previously filed sexual harassment lawsuits against 2 other city employees. Now that you have heard these statements, if the May election for mayor were held today and the candidates were Jimmy Davis and Jason O'Donnell, for whom would you vote?
Jason O'Donnell. Definitely.
Now I'm going to read you statements from opponents of Jason O'Donnell, and I'd like to know whether each one raises doubts. Jason O'Donnell left the fire department and collects taxpayer-funded pension benefits at a higher rate than he is entitled to based on false records. Does this raise doubts for you about voting for Jason O'Donnell or not?
No.
All right. Or you can say doesn't believe. Do you believe it?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the statement again?
Sure. Jason O'Donnell left the fire department and collects taxpayer-funded pension benefits at a higher rate than he is entitled to based upon false records.
And what are my options?
Raises major or minor doubts, does not raise doubts, do not believe,
Do not believe.
or don't know. All right. Jason O'Donnell helped broker the deal that sold Bayonne's water company to a private company that is now hitting city residents with double-digit rate increases. O'Donnell also pushed to outsource the city's electricity service to one of his main campaign donors. Does this raise doubts?
No.
Okay. Jason O'Donnell works for a big Trenton lobbying firm that represents wealthy special interests like oil companies and drug manufacturers, and was paid $40 million to air TV commercials that promoted Chris Christie's agenda. That's why O'Donnell's lobbying firm is called Christie's Favorite Lobbyist. Now O'Donnell's campaign for mayor is taking thousands of dollars from the lobbyist friends in Trenton. Does this raise doubts?
No.
Jason O'Donnell claimed that he wants to return character to city government, yet he personally picked Kevin Kuehl, a bartender, to run on his ticket, even though Kuehl was convicted of running an illegal gambling operation. Does this raise doubts?
No.
Jason O'Donnell was paid $49,000 a year to represent us in the New Jersey State Assembly, yet he failed to show up dozens of times to vote on important issues, including education, investments, common sense gun safety laws, and funding for critical programs that senior citizens depend on. Does this raise doubts?
No.
One final time, if the May election for mayor were held today and the candidates were Jimmy Davis and Jason O'Donnell, for whom would you vote?
Jason O'Donnell.
Okay, just a few final statistical questions.
Sure.
What is the last grade of school or level of education that you've completed?
I am graduating college this year.
Okay. Are you or is anyone in your household an active or retired member of a labor union?
No.
When it comes to politics, do you generally think of yourself as very liberal, somewhat liberal, moderate, somewhat conservative, or very conservative?
Somewhat liberal.
Do you own or rent the house or apartment where you live?
I own it.
Okay. To ensure we have a representative sample, could you please tell me your race?
I'm Caucasian.
Okay. Do you consider yourself Hispanic, Latino, or Spanish speaking?
No.
Okay. Thinking about all the phone calls you receive, are they mostly on or all on cell phone? Some on cell, some on landline, or mostly on landline?
All on cell.
Jessica, I want to take this time to thank you very much for your participation tonight.
Not a problem.
And you have a great night.
You too. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.